What's up, everybody? It's Chill Scrub. I know I haven't been posting a lot of content lately because I've been stepping away from the whole gaming thing. You have watched my channel for a long time. You know that I prefer to talk about things that are of importance, life things that's going on. The game is just a medium where men can gather and talk about certain things and have a common interest. Normally the format is I'll make a topic of the day. I'll have whatever the topic is. I'll be streaming a game or hanging out with friends. But this time I want to do it a more personal method. I want to, talk to you guys face to face and, get my opinion out there. And you guys can comment and say whatever you have to say. So what I want to talk about is, as I've been thinking about it a lot lately, is the red pill movement and feminism and how they're both two sides of the exact same coin. I've been thinking about this with my interactions with my girlfriend, her family, and my own personal experiences. And I would have to say that the red pill movement overall is a reaction to what's been going on in the last 20 to 30 years, actually 40 to 50 years, with feminism and now modern day feminism, and the deviations that have come in from feminism, the boss bitch movement and boss babe mentality and all these other things that coincide with that. And with red pill, you have the sigma males now, you have the red pillars, red pill rage, black pillars now, all these things. And to me, when I take my own bias out of it and my own personal pain and my own pretty much emotions, I can see when people say that doesn't know both sides that they're exactly the same. You have feminism that argues that women have been oppressed, women have no rights, even though that is easily debunked. Women, the wage gap, the common things that you hear with feminism, that women are second rate creatures compared to men, even though that is completely and utterly false. A lot of these things have been debunked. The whole wage gap thing has been debunked. You just look at the jobs that men take. They take more rigorous jobs. They work more hours. Their lives are on the line more often than women, when women tend to want to play it safe. They take the easier job, the less physically demanding jobs, therefore they don't make as much money. That's the simplest way to explain it without going into a deep analysis. I'm not here to do all that. This is just throwing my thoughts out there. As far as women being oppressed, women have been more liberated now than they ever have in 2022. Women can rake men over the coals with child support, alimony. Marriage is a bad deal for men nowadays. Women are empowered through affirmative action to get jobs. You have diversity quotas and so forth and so forth. That makes women's lives a lot easier. Matter of fact, I will go as far as to say that a lot of women, they have all the benefits of a man without none of the responsibility that comes with it. Now, that's where the red pill comes in, and that's where the pendulum swings and the rage is going, with men now waking up and understanding that, wait a minute, we've given all the women all the freedoms and all the luxuries of life that men can enjoy only through dedication, hard work, having a tenacious attitude, and so forth and so forth. Now women get to enjoy these things and they have no responsibility, and nobody's putting them in check, especially when you have government implemented systems that make sure women are safe or away from harm, such things like Section 8, when it comes to school, Title 9. All these kind of things have been implemented to make women feel more and more empowered, to the famous phrase that women say that they don't need a man. And red pillars are now saying the exact same thing, that virtually men are oppressed, and I can actually confirm that. At one point I lived in a 2-parent household. I seen my father get hit with child support. Not a pretty sight. I seen how messy and ugly divorces can be. I dealt with discrimination in the workforce. I've been working for 10 years. I'm 28 years old. I've seen how it can swing both sides. Men are being discriminated in the workplace just for being men. You have a lot of programming out there with TV, movies, God knows, Marvel, with this whole over projection of women taking over masculine roles. and men being shamed for doing things that are naturally manly. And a lot of men are sick and tired of it, so they're going this route where they're objecting to it. They're going to do what they want to do, and that's going to be that. Now you have the black pillars, the one that just give up on life because they can't get laid, or they say statistically, the statistics of them getting laid, it's not that they cannot get laid, it's so, the burden on the man for performance to get laid or to talk to women is so high, it's not worth it. It's really not. Then you have the MGTOWers that just go their own way. They say, you know what, I'm done, I'm not going to deal with women. Black pillars are more the ones that complain about it, but they're really not going to do anything about it. The red pillars are the ones that give you the idea of self-improvement, work on yourself, become an alpha male. God, I'm so tired of hearing that fucking term. That term needs to die. There are so many other ways to describe a dominant man that is successful, that is about his business. We do not have to use the same word, alpha male, 24/7. And a lot of people use that word in incorrect phrases, and especially incorrect times. So yes, that is my objections to it. A lot of women, seeing the examples of how women act nowadays, it's actually scary. Like, I literally had conversations with my girl. We've been going together for almost 7 years. We had a lot of bumps in the road, and we still will have continue to have bumps in the road. As long as us as people want to work it out, it'll remain stable and steady. But I talked to her after seeing my interactions with people. I told her, if this does not work out, I'm not doing this again. I don't see the point of going through so much effort and turmoil for women that, quite frankly, don't want men, despise men. And it's not entirely their fault. The media that they're consuming allows them to hate men with no regard. And then when they get into their late 30s, early 40s, then they start realizing, wait, where's the good man gone? And why is there nobody here to be with me, or so forth and so forth. Now, I was saying they're two sides of the same coin. It's because they're both leaving both sides miserable. Nobody wants to talk about this, but it's leaving both sides miserable. The feminists are making women miserable, and believe it or not, even though red pill philosophy started off with great intentions, it started off with excellent intentions, it's still going to leave a lot of men miserable, right? You have one side, feminism, saying don't settle, get the man you want, get that degree, get that job, get that house. Again, you don't need a man. Red pill, go work out, increase your sexual market value, get that high paying job. It literally sounds exactly the same, right? Now, what I don't hear from both sides is, you know what, let's use a bit of realism and understand that most of us are going to be average. So therefore, if most of us are going to be average, that means we should be looking for somebody that is average, right? Both sides are telling you to look for something that is above yourself. Now, I will agree with the red pill saying that, well, focus on you first, but both of them say that, but more on the, get your mind right, get your body right. Feminism just pretty much elaborates into I hate dudes. And I'm not saying all feminists, I'm saying extremists. It's extremists on both sides, extremists on the red pill side and extremists on feminism side. But as a man, I can only speak as a man. The red pill most of the time is pretty mild, get yourself together, blah blah blah. But you do have the extremists that don't practice what they preach, that sit here and they profit off of unexpected minds, like kids around the teenage years, those depressing teenage years, those trying to figure out where you're going with your life in your mid-20s or early 20s, and they profit off of that. Same thing with feminism. To me, it's a scam. Both sides are miserable. Both sides are asking for things that most people are not going to be able to provide for themselves. Anyone that will tell you that it's easy to be successful, and I'm not saying that you can't be successful, I'm saying easy to be successful and just do this and just do this and just do this, as if these things are easy to accomplish, is lying to you. I'm not saying that you should settle to be average. I am not settling to be average. I don't want to be average either. But average is average for a reason on both sides. You have feminism has given women an inflated ego to where a average or ugly woman will reject a deep, moderately attractive or above average man because they feel like they can get Chad, Tyrone, etc. Well, you know the buzzwords that they use when it comes down to red pillars and all this other things. You got men out here, and I am so hard on dudes about this because it's like the most annoying thing ever. You have dudes that sit up in the basement, they don't go outside, they don't work out, they don't have a job, period, they don't work towards any goals. but yet they want a bad bitch, or they want the docile woman that's going to submit to them. Like, what is she going to submit to if you have nothing to submit to? Right now, a lot of people eat up the content, and I know this is going to be a controversial statement, but I'm going to say it anyway. It kind of sounds like church to me. Growing up, I was raised by my mother and grandmother and my father. My grandmother was heavily religious, and I went to church every morning. And even as a kid, I know I'm ranty, but I'm going to make a point with this. Even as a kid, I always thought that, wait, the feel-good messages, I understand the message, right? And faith without works is dead, and all that great stuff. It sounds good, but who is going to actually apply this and make this applicable in their day-to-day life? The average person is not going to do that, right? So again, what I'm saying is, with modern day feminism and the red pill movement and so forth, it's just making people miserable. People cannot be satisfied nowadays with just normal day-to-day life. Women want more and more and more and more, and men want to harp on in the red pill, saying that they just want a woman to be submissive, docile, respect their leadership, so forth, but no, they want more and more and more as well. And there's always, it's a continuously butting of heads, and there's no compromise whatsoever. And the only people who suffer from it really and truly are the day-to-day people that are living their day-to-day lives, that are soaking up this information and not being realistic. My thing is, I would tell anyone, stop listening to this red pill shit too much. It has some truth into it. It has a lot of truth into it. Feminism to a certain degree has some truth to it. But I would tell anybody, go outside, and what a lot of people don't say, go outside and find these answers for yourself. Make your own experiences and then draw from that. A lot of people are claiming to, especially in the red pill movement, are claiming to live lives and understand women when they don't even have experience with women. They haven't got laid. They don't talk to women. A lot of these people online, like Reddit, YouTube, Facebook, etc., dudes in the comment section, even in my comment section, will be like, well, this and this about women, or I hate blah 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 about women. And I'm like, but you don't deal with women on a day-to-day basis. Matter of fact, you couldn't even strike a conversation up with a woman if you tried. And it's okay, because most dudes go through that. It's anxiety for a lot of people to actually come to somebody and strike a conversation. It's not as easy as people think it is. I mean, it comes with practice, but a lot of people, they're not doing that. But they will sit up here and try to give you red pill content, or they will try to soak up this red pill content as if they can relate, when they really can't, because you haven't lived this kind of lifestyle. That's simply what I'm saying. And the same thing with feminism. When feminism cries about oppression, and then there's great channels like It's Complicated that goes and asks them, well, how is your life complicated or oppressed when you have the liberties and freedoms of being able to vote without having to go to war? That was the one thing that a man had to do. You can pick and choose your jobs, pick and choose your mates, and on top of that, if all else fails, you can still rely on your body as a reliable source of income, when a man cannot do that on a successful basis. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's on average, no man is going to be able to sell dick. It's worth nothing, really. So it's just the same thing, and a lot of people are miserable and they just want to eat up this content. I'm like, it's great in doses, but a lot of people look at this stuff and then they get miserable. Same thing with Tinder. Like, all these things and all these applications that we are using today that promotes the red pill content and all this other stuff is, to a degree, actually toxic. I wish we would promote people going outside, and this is the true message of it, and that's why I say they're the same thing. I wish people would go outside instead of just listening to the Andrew Tates and the Fresh and Fit podcast, and I don't really listen to a lot of feminists, so I really can't tell you, or the Hazans. And I like all these people, Fresh and Fit, even though they are fraudulent for what they said. They said that, well, you should be an alpha male, you got to make $100K a year, blah blah blah, preach to women, do this, that, and the third. But you got Fresh CEO that's over here giving girls trips on yacht for a basic Becky. I mean, to each his own, do what you want to do, but your actions and what you're telling people to do are not lining up. So when I see what you do and I see what you say and they're not lining up, I'm like, well, something's not right here, right? So it's not as easy as people make it out to be. So it's just like the boss bitches, like they say the same thing, the same feminists that sit there and say, well, you don't need no man, blah 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 blah. At the end of the day, they're telling young people this, and they're poisoning their minds, poisoning women's minds, saying that, well, go out there and man comes last, right? Get your job, get your career, get your house, get your kids, and that's crazy. Women will prioritize getting kids over getting a man. I'm like, you should prioritize getting a man. Y'all can work together, have children. Those children can be successful in life, and then you flourish from there. And now you have a legacy or a dynasty started. But that's not what people do nowadays. That's what, especially in the black community. Black community is the most toxic thing ever. A lot of people don't preach that. But my overall message, because I don't want it to be too long, this is just my first video just talking about this kind of stuff, and please, by all means, talk about this in the comment section below. Anything you disagree with me, I'd be happy to have a discussion with you about it. But I want people to go outside and actually live life and actually talk to people and actually communicate with people. Stop sitting in your room, especially men, for 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day, 10 hours a day, consuming red pill content that is doing you nothing, especially if you don't apply the things that they're actually saying that are truthful. If you're not going to apply it and you're just going to sit up here and hate women for whatever reason, or you're going to sit here and try to act like you're something you're not, go outside. Like, there's plenty of instances where I've talked to women and I'm like, well, this woman's pleasant, you know, not perfect, and I do look out for red flags, but she's pleasant, she's okay, not as bad, not the monster that I think in my head when I watch I don't want to say 8 hours, but I watch Fresh and Fit videos or their podcast or whatever, or if I watch Andrew Tate or any of things like that. They're not that crazy, right? Especially the black pill. Stay away from that shit. Go outside, build your own opinions before you want to say, well, I hate women. Same thing with women. Go out here and actually talk to people. Both sides, talk to people. I'm not here to just downgrade men. I'm not here to downgrade women. Both sides should talk. Both sides should go outside and live life. Both sides should ask what the fuck do they want before just going mindlessly, just searching up people's content, consuming the content. Because I'll be the first one to tell you, after consuming content for so long, after consuming it for so long and listening to it for so long, it poisons your mind. Now you become jaded. Now you hate the other side, and God knows you don't know why, because you haven't really been outside to interact with these people. But with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is my first time doing this. Let me know if you want more. I'll be posting later on. I'll probably stream later on. I'm still going to be doing gaming and all that. Just follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram, The Chill Scrub. And you guys have a great day. Peace.